Good morning, everyone, and welcome. My name is Ty Carr, and I'm the Director of Alumni Diversity Initiatives. One of my responsibilities includes, but is not limited to, international alumni engagement. Here in Ohio University, at the Ohio University's Alumni Association, I have the privilege of coordinating today's event along with my colleagues in the Office of Global Affairs, the Center for International Studies, and University Advancement. This is our second Bobcats Abroad and in the US, and today's panel will also feature Ohio University's 22nd president, Dr. Hugh Sherman. We also have 5 additional panelists and our moderator that are all distinguished Bobcats. So without further ado, I will turn this over to our moderator, Dr. Lucky Udirile.
Thank you very much, Ty. My name is Lucky Udirile from Botswana. I am a Bobcat. I did both my master's and my doctoral degree at Ohio University, and I'm presently at Ohio University as a leading visiting professor. So I continue to impact my world. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Bobcats, and all our friends all over the world. I just want to take this time to warmly welcome the Bobcats and our friends to Bobcats Abroad and in America, Alumni Impacting Global Education. Kindly note that this session is recorded. It will be in the Ohio University Alumni Association YouTube, in case you want to listen it later or you want to share it with your friends. We're gonna try this morning to answer as many questions as we've had or as you may have as participants. But if you feel we've left out any questions, you are free to put your questions in the question and answer chat. And we need one more favor from you. At the end of this session, kindly give us feedback because we want to know how to serve you best. Before us are 5 beautiful, precious Bobcats who are our panelists. 4, in fact, because President Sherman is our president and did not go to school at OU. And I just want them to wave to the participants as I say their names. I'm going to start with the president of Ohio University, Dr. Sherman. Mirna Kloboski, Ambassador Steve Uba, Stevina Ovulucha, Ariel Amoni, and lastly, Dr. No. I'm kindly going to ask all our panelists to briefly introduce themselves. Let's start with somebody that in my country, I will raise my hands and bow my head. President Sherman.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Lucky. So Hugh Sherman, and I've been with the, I did not graduate from Ohio University, but I've had the pleasure of working here for the past 25 years. And I really appreciate being part of this panel today. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Dr. No?
Thank you very much, Dr. Lucky. I'm Mohammed from Malaysia. I have graduated from Ohio University class of 1997 in Master of Science and Physical Education, School of Science and Wellness, College of Health and Human Services. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry, Dr. No, you have some cuts, but I hope our friends have heard what you said. Mirna?
Hi, my name is Mirna Kolbowski. I got my master's degree at Ohio University in 1992, my master's in international affairs. I'm originally from Argentina, have lived in the United States since. I attended Ohio University. That wasn't my plan. I have traveled and lived in many places around the world, and currently I am in the UK for a few months.
Thank you, Mirna. Davina?
Hi, my name is Davina Evolucha. I'm a two-time Bobcat. I graduated from Ohio University first in 1984 with a master's in international affairs, and subsequently in 1993 with a PhD in mass communication. I worked for 29 years at the California State University, East Bay, formerly known as Hayward. I am now a professor emerita. Welcome to the session, Bobcats.
Thank you, Stevina. And let's go to Ambassador Uba. Steve, who is Stevina's best friend. You are muted, sir. You are muted.
Okay. Hi, my name is Steve Uba. I have 2 bachelor's degrees from Ohio University, 2 master's degrees from Ohio University, and a PhD from Ohio University. I love the institution so much, I didn't want to leave. I am a former ambassador of Nigeria to the Russian Federation and the Republic of Belarus. I spent 3 years at the mission. And I'm also an emeritus professor of marketing from California State University, East Bay. I'm delighted to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Uba. Ariel, it's your turn.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. I graduated, Mirna and I are a couple. We are married. We graduated together with a master's degree in international affairs in '92. I then continue for my PhD in political science at another institution. I'm currently the Vice Provost for Global Affairs at the University of Pittsburgh and also the Director of the University Center for International Studies, as well as a professor in the Graduate School of Public and International Affairs at Pitt.
Thank you, Ariel. And one of the most beautiful things is that Mirna and Ariel met at OU. Steve and Stevina met at OU. That's very beautiful. We're very special people here in the panel. I am going to ask Stevina and No to kindly share with the world why they chose Ohio University for their education.
Thank you, Dr. Lucky. I would like to share, outside of the bonus reason I attended Ohio University, some of the other things that attracted me to Ohio University. The master's in international affairs was really a magnet for a lot of international students and offered me an irresistible opportunity to come to school, not only just to go to school, paid me to go to school. It doesn't get any better than that. And of course, the program was very well grounded, very well internationalized, and consisted of faculty from everywhere. So if you think about the quality of education that most Bobcats get from Ohio University, it's actually invaluable. Now, in addition to the curriculum, which was really thorough, I also benefited from various programs that Ohio University offered. And I mean, if we start here till tomorrow. I wouldn't finish talking about it, but I will be brief, and I will say that the campus by itself was one of the best places on earth, because as you walked the streets of Ohio University back in the day, you literally heard every language on earth. Students were from everywhere. You made good friends, networks, some of which are lifelong. And some of my OU friends I'm still in touch with till today. So of course, the campus was one of those things as well. Plus, I had all kinds of experiences with programs like at the time as a student worker, working in the Center for International Programs, where we actually coordinated the international day events, which included the street fair. And for those of you who have memories of the street fair, it was an opportunity for everyone to literally put out there what the culture was, whether it was food, whether it was how they dressed. The street fair had it all. So you walked around, you mingled with people from everywhere, you ate dishes from everywhere. So the street fair was one of my best programs that I enjoyed at Ohio University. Additionally, I also remember being an usher during my time at OU, when just by being an usher, I was able to participate in arts the way that I would never have. I worked as an usher, but I got to see all kinds of cultural events, even, I dare say, some of them very historical. And it wasn't an opportunity that you get at just any campus. So Ohio University had that ability to bring back not just alumni that came back during homecoming, they also had the capacity to invite great talent on campus. So I got to benefit immensely from having those kinds of things available to me. Additionally, and perhaps more interestingly, was my little experience with all campus radio network. I don't know if ACRN is still there. And I remember back then doing the 6 o'clock shift, 6 o'clock news in the morning, and knowing that every single day was different, because if you were going to get the AP news wires, you have to pick a human interest story. And I became really notorious for picking stories that had to do with Africa and African issues. It really was a wonderful experience. And of course, you all now know that in addition to all these things that I'm talking about, I also came out of Ohio University with a lifetime partner. I think it's the guy in purple. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Stevina. Dr. No?
Okay, Dr. Lucky, I'm sorry because I forgot to tell everyone that now I'm currently the Dean and Professor at the Faculty of Sports Science and Recreation, University Teknologi Mara Shah Alam Selangor, Malaysia. Okay, what had motivated me to further my studies of master degree in physical education in Ohio University? Because postgraduate program in physical education at Ohio University was one of the best programs in Ohio University and in the US and then in the United States as a whole. So I was also awarded the Ohio University scholarship by Ohio University through the Malaysian government. Then I also have, we Malaysians have a Tun Abdul Razak Chair at Ohio University. This chair named in honor of the second Prime Minister of Malaysia and established in 1979. And the Tun Abdul Razak Chair at Ohio University is the only one who its kind in the United States. And I also choose Ohio University because Ohio was also became my preference to further my studies, because at that time Ohio University has so many international students, including Malaysian students. These are the few reasons that why I choose Ohio University as my place to further my study in Master in Physical Education. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. No. And from Stevina and Dr. No, we learned today that Ohio University is a very beautiful campus. It has diversity, people from all over the world. You can hear all the languages. And of course, there's a lot of internationalism. There's a rich curriculum. It continues to be the same. And above all, Ohio University gives a lot of financial assistance wherever they can. Thank you very much. I am going to move to the second question. we have had a lot of shift in the past 2 years. COVID-19 has continuously shifted the educational sector in the whole world. And I want to know, how has COVID-19 shaped or reshaped your outlook of the value of global education and the global community? I want to give this question to President Sherman, with all respect, and Ambassador Uba.
Thank you. I think that, just one of the things that attracted me to come to Ohio University, because I was living on the East Coast, was Dr. Ping, the former president, his commitment to the importance of global education. He started up programs in Africa, in Asia. Those were probably two of the most important areas that he started. So I found that attractive because I feel like, global education is a major part of what higher education must do, is to teach an understanding and an appreciation of different cultures and experiences. And these last 2 years of COVID-19 have been so, have reminded us all in two ways. One, the fact that COVID-19 has happened, indicates how much the world is interdependent. Our economies are interdependent, our business organizations, our educational organizations. We can't think that we can be isolated from each other. It's even more important that we work together to solve the problems that plague our planet. And then secondly, the COVID-19 was brought back to us how social we really are. Mm-hmm. In COVID-19, we've been so isolated from each other, our family and our friends. Mm-hmm. And I think that reminded us of how important our friendships are and how important travel is. So for me, it's just re-emphasized the importance of us in really emphasizing why global education is important for everyone. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Thank you very much, President Sherman. Mm-hmm. Ambassador Uba.
Thanks, Dr. Lucky. COVID-19 has been a game changer in terms of everything that we do in our lives, including education. Marshall McLuhan's predictions, postulations became a reality these last 2 years in terms of stressing the importance of globalization, the global village, and COVID-19 helps cement, that aspect of our lives. I know that several years ago, I taught in Russia a hybrid program, face-to-face and also online. And I know also a few years ago that people scoffed at the idea of online education as compared to the brick and mortar face-to-face in-class instruction. But we've realized that there is a lot of value in online education in terms of connecting global communities around the world and allowing people access to education that ordinarily they wouldn't have had. If I had the choice of staying maybe in Nigeria and studying with access to technology, I don't know, I may have decided to stay back. But the good thing is that COVID-19 has opened up the space for entrepreneurship, for globalization, for innovation, for creativity, for resilience that we've never seen before. So it's a blessing in disguise. And for those who have lost their lives and those who have loved ones who have been affected by COVID-19, our sympathies go to them. It has been devastating for a lot of families. But on the other hand, it has also been a blessing in disguise in terms of global education. So it's been a game changer.
Thank you very much, Dr. Uba. I like the fact that COVID-19 has challenged each person to be very creative. But I also appreciate the fact that it has turned us into a community. We now realize, as President Sherman has said, that we need each other. In counseling, for example, I am from the counseling field. We never thought that we could ever focus on telehealth. But now, the shift, the big change. So as educationists, and above all as Bobcats, we have to be on our toes and keep thinking, what else can we do to make this world a better place? Thank you very much. I'm moving to the third question. How are you presently giving back, or how are you impacting communities in your current positions? I'm giving this question to Ariel.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I want to mention two ways in which my work connects to communities locally and globally. First, through my role as director of the University Center for International Studies and vice provost, we work locally with tens of thousands of students, K-12, where we engage with hundreds of schools in our region to develop global competencies and perspectives. There are hundreds of workshops, seminars, study tours, and other activities that where we work with educators to develop global curricular and develop skills and pedagogies to advance global education. We organize events such as the Model African Union, Model EU, the Moot International Criminal Court competition, and other activities that bring students from all over the region. Also, one program that I'm very, very proud of is our program with Scholars at Risk. We bring scholars from all over the world to Pittsburgh and provide them with time to think, to work, and to be safe from situations that are very, very difficult in their countries. And also, we engage in partnerships around the world where we promote areas such as life sciences. Our work, for example, on the development of vaccines is very, very important in terms of the relevance of our international collaborations. Also, very briefly, I wanted to mention something that relates very directly to my experience at OYO. It was during my master's degree that I wrote a paper on the role of the Argentine military in the counter-revolutionary wars in Central America. That paper became my first book, and decades later, that book had a global influence in the field of transnational political violence and informed a number of not only academic research, but a number of trials against human rights violators in different countries in Latin America. And for me, that's something that makes me very proud. And it started at Ohio University.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ariel. Thank you for reminding us that it's very important to continuously collaborate, to network, to give back to our communities through academia, but not only in that way, but as well as impact our communities in the other ways, such as charity. I'm going to ask Marina to answer the question on what words of wisdom do you have for the current students at Ohio University and those who are thinking of joining Ohio University?
Oh my goodness. I think the most important thing to consider as you become part of the Ohio University community is find ways to engage with your next door neighbor in your dorm or your next door faculty member, but get out of your dorm, get out of campus. Ohio is amazing. Get out of Ohio and visit other parts of the country. In other words, travel. If you can, get a passport if you don't have one and go abroad. Visit as many countries as you can, engage with people, travel, internationalize your studies. I don't think there's anything more important these days than to get to know other cultures, other people. Listen, just listen. I learned that living in China when Ariel was a Fulbright scholar. I remember thinking, okay, I am not here to teach anything to anybody. I'm just here to learn and to teach, to learn and to listen. And once you do all that, then go back to Ohio University, give back if you can. Ariel and I were very involved in the creation of a fund in honor of our advisor, Dr. Thomas Walker, and his wife, because they were so instrumental in our 2 years at Ohio University. And after that, they have become the honorary grandparents of our kids. So give back if you can. Go back and visit. Contribute with financially or in other ways. It's a community, and everybody needs to do something to make it grow, because then we will understand each other better, for sure.
Thank you very much, Myrna. I really like what you have said. The importance of socializing, traveling, getting out, and also talking to your neighbors, making friends, being an international person. But above all, the last part that you mentioned of giving back to Ohio University as an alumni. If you have benefited, Stevena told us about how her education was fully paid, master's and doctorate. If you have benefited, you can also, give back to Ohio University so that other people can benefit as well. Thank you very much. This is such an eye-opener. Stevena, I'm going to ask you again to say, what are your words of wisdom? Very briefly, what are your words of wisdom? Can you add to what Myrna has said?
Oh, absolutely. I think that she covered quite a bit of what anybody would advise a Bobcat to do in this day and age. But of course, the times that we went to school were different times than now. So there might be some other things that students need to be aware of, in addition to everything that Mina has referred to. And for me, especially given how the global environment is now, it's of course to make sure that everybody understands the importance of protecting the environment, making sure that we leave the earth to the children who come after us as a safe environment. You can't overemphasize the importance of keeping the earth safe. Of course, I'm sure Ohio University has things in place at the moment. I remember arriving Ohio University campus, and I first heard about recycling. And I remember thinking, wow, we're already doing that in Africa, because if you bought soda at a store, more than likely you would return the bottle to the store, the bottles after you've entertained with the soda. So they were recycling in Africa before it became fashionable to do so. But we can learn from other cultures. What are they doing differently? So as students today, you can't be in an isolated box. You almost have to know what's happening in the global environment and figure out what role you're going to play to make your experience perhaps enjoyable at Ohio University. But it is an environment that will grow on you and you will benefit from. So I think new Bobcats should look forward to an entertaining time. I did enjoy Ohio University, and I can't say enough about that.
Thank you very much, Stevina. I also want to give that question again to Dr. No, because that's very important. We are looking forward. We are advocating for more Bobcats. Why should you come to Ohio University? What do you want to say to students and to those who are thinking of coming here?
Sorry, Dr. Lucky, I'm not so clear because the line is not too clear and stable. What was the question again?
Okay, my question is, do you have another addition as to why students should come to Ohio University, or what you want to say to those who are already students at OU right now?
Okay. I think my hope is for the current students at Ohio University, please take this opportunity to broaden your horizons studying at foreign countries like that we have at Ohio University, with different cultures, a different family background, different way of life, different thinking, different views, and etc. So I think these differences will be something very valuable and meaningful to you before entering the world of career after completing your studies at Ohio University. For example, if you, take that, this opportunity to know your colleagues from other countries, because now as a dean of Faculty of Sports Science and Recreation, I have to increase the number of collaboration program with international universities around the globe. So I think by knowing a lot of international students during my time at Ohio, I think this helped me a lot to broaden my roles and responsibility, to increase the connection and networking with international students all over the world. So for example, now I have my colleagues from Korea. So now we have a few collaboration program with University of Suwon in Korea. So I think this is because of I have opportunity to study at Ohio University, and then I will be able to know so many friends from other countries. So thank you again, Ohio University, for giving me this opportunity. And then if I will be able to go again to Ohio University, I will do so. So thank you very much, Dr. Lucky.
Thank you very much, Dr. No. I like the point that you have just mentioned, internationalism. You meet everybody from everywhere, from all over the world at OU, and then you continue the connections. And as we all hold different positions, as we continue going higher in the ladder of our careers, we start inviting each other to other countries. That's one of the most beautiful things that has ever happened. One of my professors, Dr. Tom Davis, I just met him last week, and he told me that he was invited by somebody that I was in class with to visit another country. So many people have been invited, even from Ohio University itself, to different countries. I am going to ask you, Ariel, to start this question, which I'm going to give to the participants as well. What services, Dr. Ariel, what services or programs at Ohio University or in Athens assisted your adjustment?
Well, I think that what made a tremendous impact on our experience was, first of all, the quality of mentorship that we receive from our professors. Having studied at different institutions, having taught at different institutions, I really see that the level of commitment that we receive from our professors at OU was absolutely extraordinary, and that made a tremendous, tremendous difference. And so that's the first element. Second, from the very beginning, when we arrived, and I want to say that you said something, Lucky, that is so important in terms of giving back. We arrived at OU with basically nothing, and really nothing, and we found a community among classmates, among university offices, the Office of International Services. Everybody was there ready to help, ready to welcome us. And so to really have the capacity to have a place where the commitment is for you to feel that you belong is tremendously important, and it was translated immediately in practice, in very, very concrete things. And we know that when you arrive to a place that you don't know, that it's different, where you have very few resources, it's very, very tough to adjust. And that community that we found worked really well and allow for that integration, which was fast and was extremely effective, and really, the source of our great experience and then successful professional lives. So those are the things that I would like to highlight about those services and the experience.
Thank you very much, Ariel. Athens Friends, I just remember Athens Friends. I remember Athens African Student Union. I remember the International Students Union. And those different churches that would come to Ohio University to help students who want to get away from school, a getaway day, something like that. And they gave us a lot of food. And you've talked about committed professors. I think all of us can really, we are witnesses to that. Commitment. Every time when I'm at home and people ask me, why do you have this passion of hard work? And I said, I learned it, I sucked it. I was groomed at Ohio University of the importance of passion and hard work. I've carried that all my life. And thank you very much. I'm going to, Ty, please help me. Can you identify two participants, please, to answer this question? What services or programs at Ohio University assisted, or at Ohio University or Athens assisted in your adjustment? Can you just pick two people, please? A man and a woman.
Yes, I will call on Carla Fraser, who is in Niger. Carla, are you available and can answer the question?
Well, while you are still identifying him, I would like to read this message on the chat. It says, I would like to thank our homecoming sponsors, Green Skins, for making events like this possible. Homecoming, to see all the events that are always planned. And then another person says, Rebecca Prater says, Dr. Lucky, I was also groomed at Ohio University and learned the importance of passion and hard work. I love that. And then the other one says, professors with well-traveled and very open-minded. The International Students Union was amazing. Community at large was exceptional. This is beautiful. Do you have anybody, Ty?
Well, I am looking and I've seen many of the participants are speaking up from Malaysia.
Maybe you can ask them to raise their hand and then we can point to one person.
I think Carla, Carla is available.
Okay, Carla, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I am chiming in from Niger, West Africa, where I am a proud Bobcat working in higher education at a startup university. And I would say the services that really helped me, one, I was in the residential living program. So I was a assistant hall director on South Green. And so helping other students was part of what also helped me. I would say the sister to sister program that was on campus for us was a great service that got me going. And definitely our International Student Union coming out of the Center for International Studies, where I got my master's degree in international affairs, were our three key services. And Tyrone, I will give a shout out to, because Tyrone worked with me in residence life, and a lot of us supported each other through master's and PhD programs while we were there. So it's exciting to be on this call and sharing with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Kala.
So good to see you.
Good to see you too, Kala. Ty, another person, please.
You know, the only reason why I don't want to mess up the pronunciation of the names from Malaysia. That is why I'm intimidated. As I look at the list, there is Rohizan.
Yeah, from Malaysia, Johor, Malaysia.
Okay. Roho.
Hi, Ro.
Where is Rohizan?
Muted.
I think one Azli is also here. One Azli, Thai. One Azli is also here.
Yes, Rohizan is here. I'm here. Thank you very much.
Yes,
thank you. Yes, thank you. There was some technical glitch just now, like what Professor Anuzu was saying. Some technical issue here in Malaysia. But anyway, I'm good here from the southernmost part of Malaysia. Thank you very much. Thank you, organizer, for looping me in. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure also to meet our president, Mr. Sherman. And of course, everyone else. Thank you very much.
And Rohi, we would want you to say what services or programs that Ohio University assisted you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Lucky. Well, anyway, I was the one of the student from the special Ohio University at that point of time was Institute Technology Mara, and now it's called UITM, University Technology Mara. So I was one of the product of Ohio ITM collaboration. So what I have gathered from what I have learned from OU program, well, there's a lot of things that I've gathered. One of which I'm proud to say is that I was one of the individuals who was involved in the setting up of a virtual university in Malaysia, the first virtual university in Malaysia. So what I've gathered, the knowledge that I've gathered from Ohio University program from the College of Business, so that really helps me to be part of the team player who conceived and we got the first virtual university up in Malaysia. That was one of the things that I'm proud to say, that being a Bobcat, I'm proud to say that, well, glory to Ohio University. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Rohi. Glory to Ohio University. That's very beautiful. We are who we are. We are what we are, impacting the world, because at one point Ohio University gave us an opportunity to grow.
Yes, go Bobcat, go.
Go Bobcat, go.
Go Bobcats forever.
Bobcats.
Lucky. Oh, I see it. Go ahead, Ariel. I see you have your hand up. Go ahead, please.
Okay, Ariel.
Thank you. I wanted to add one dimension that this meeting is making me think about, which is that OU has an extraordinary story to tell about the education of this amazing group of international students that, of course, what we are seeing here are the wonderful connections that OU has helped create around the world. And this is a very, very important story and to tell. And having President Sherman here, I wanted to emphasize that I hope that OU continues to do this. I spent significant time on Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C., talking to our Pennsylvania, particularly representatives to support the work that we do in terms of global education. And so I wanted to highlight that this event is a great evidence of the extraordinary story that OU has to tell and to be shaping the future in terms of the importance of international education.
I agree with you, Ariel. Ohio University has a beautiful story that they have to share with the world. When you take my country, for example, almost all the counselors that became prominent people in the society were trained at Ohio University. We have had members of parliament, we have had directors, deans, we have had ministers, and these are people who came to Ohio University. I think it's time to start writing or start telling that story. And one of the most important things that all of us who are here can share with the world is Ohio University taught us to give. A year ago, I started a program where I had to advocate for orphans and vulnerable children and refugees at the University of Botswana so that they could go to school, so that people who would want to sponsor them would send them to school. And where did I get all this? Because a lot of international students have come to Ohio University and were fully sponsored at OU. And the exposure to experience, here you are given an opportunity to be a TA, to be an RA. Carla was just telling us that she was in residence life. So somebody has to allow us to write or to tell the story. In closing, I would like to thank the panelists, the beautiful panelists, for their precious time and their wealth of experience that they shared with us today. And before we say bye-bye to Bobcats and everybody in the world, I don't know if any one of you wants to just say something. Ty,
I see Steve had his hand raised.
Okay.
And then also Dr. Sherman.
Okay, Steve, and then President Sherman, please be very brief.
Okay, thank you. We've talked about how Ohio University has prepared us academically, enriched our lives academically, and perhaps the student organizations that we all belong to that also enriched our lives. Mm-hmm. We're also involved in some other intangible aspects of university life, like the extracurricular activities, sporting activities that we did that brought us together as different communities, but brought us together. And I remember friends of mine waking up at 5 a.m. to go and practice so we can face the teams from the Middle East in a soccer match. And we're not World Cup, it's not Olympics, it's not anything, but just on campus. And I'm sure that Myrna and Ariel can relate to this. Argentina and Nigeria are perennial soccer rivals. Yeah. So those are things that bind us. Those are things that we were able to do, or Ohio University allowed us to do those things in addition to our studies. So it was a welcoming environment that gave us that opportunity to really develop our minds, bodies, and spirits. So I really appreciate my time at Ohio University.
Thank you. Dr. Sherman?
Yeah, I just wanted to thank Ty and Dr. Lucky for organizing this event. And I just want you all to know that for me, this has been one of the most rewarding, events for me, just to listen to the stories and to hear from all of you. I mean, I'm so excited to have heard about the wonderful times that you had at OU, and I'm very grateful that you chose Ohio University to come to and be part of our community. So thank you all very much for participating and being here today.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sherman. This is a very special place. And I want to thank the Bobcats for joining us and all our friends from all over the world. And I just want to say to you, once a Bobcat, forever a Bobcat. Keep recruiting, keep impacting the world. And remember two things that I just want to remind you. Access of today's session is in the Ohio University Alumni Association YouTube channel. And then kindly give us feedback. We need to know how to serve you better. And continue participating in such forums to learn more. And I want to say to you, please remember right now, the world is greatly challenged by COVID-19. Wash your hands, social distance, mask. Please consider vaccinating. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Bobcats forever.
I do.
Thank you, Bobcat. Thank you, Bobcat.
Such a beautiful closing, such a beautiful closing. But while we have 2 minutes, I wanted to say that I didn't do this alone, and I want to recognize my colleagues because they have been putting information in the chat. But I want to take this opportunity to thank Bose, also to thank Ji Young and Patrick and Jesse Holtz. Jesse Holtz was the one who gave me the suggestions to get the couples, Steve and Stevina, Marina, and Ariel. And all of these folks, we work together, we're collaborating. And as you know, this is homecoming week.
Yeah.
And this was started last year during homecoming because I, from the Caribbean myself, I miss the parade when the international students are going down waving flags. And this is the way I guess we're waving our flags and saying, we are here. We would like to do more of this and not just do it during homecoming. So some people who have joined us, that we'll be reaching out to and seeing if we will do this again, perhaps in the early winter or spring. We thank everyone, as Dr. Lucky said, for participating, for joining, and so long, wherever you are, take good care.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Forever, forever a Bobcat.